Your fear is the realization that you are not in control. When you realize that you're operating out of fear, you will either do two things. You will either humble yourself or you'll become bitter. Most people become bitter. Most people realize they're not in control, and because of that, they become bitter and they become resentful and they even become mean to themselves and other people. Whereas we should be humbled when we realize that we are not in control, but there is a God who is in control. We know that God orders our step. We know that God is leading our path. And so we can rest in peace knowing that God is in control. The people who are bitter are operating out of fear. The people who are bitter are operating out of anger. The people who are bitter are operating out of disappointment. They had a goal, they had a desire, they had a want, they had a need, and it wasn't fulfilled. And they realized they couldn't make it happen. They couldn't create that situation. They couldn't manipulate that situation. They couldn't control that situation. And so that's the result of their bitterness. If we understand the scriptures, one of my favorite scriptures, and I learned this when I was in the military. I was about to go talk to the commander about something, and the pastor at the church I was attending told me this verse, and this verse has helped me tremendously whenever I feel myself becoming fearful about any situation. And it's from 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. It says, "For God did not give us a spirit of timidity, but a spirit of power, love, and self-control." The New King James Version says, "For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind." And so if I'm trusting God, that means I should have a sound mind. If I'm trusting God, then I have the spirit of power. If I'm trusting God, I have the spirit of self-control. But if I'm not trusting God, I'm operating out of bitterness. I'm operating out of anger. I'm operating out of disappointment. So that is in contrast to God. I asked ChatGPT, I said, what does it mean to have a spirit of fear? And ChatGPT responded, he said, having a spirit of fear means being dominated by fearfulness or timidity, which can paralyze a person, preventing them from acting boldly or confidently. This state of mind can lead to hesitation and inaction. Fear can cause individuals to hesitate or avoid taking necessary actions even when they know what needs to be done. This can result in missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. And then it says number 2, lack of confidence. A spirit of fear undermines self-confidence, making people doubt their abilities and decisions. It can lead to a sense of inadequacy and insecurity. And this is the last one I'm going to tell you. It says avoidance of challenges. People with a spirit of fear tend to avoid challenging situations, conflicts, or risks, preferring to stay in their comfort zone, which limits growth and development. If you're single right now or just aware of how the dating world is, it kind of sounds like that's what's happening. And the reason for that is most people are operating out of fear. They're allowing their fear to create scenarios that may or may not even happen. They're afraid to connect with people. They're afraid to reach out to people because they're operating out of fear. When you have fear, it is what? The polar opposite of faith. I asked ChatGPT, is fear the polar opposite of faith? And it says many people consider fear and faith to be polar opposite. This idea suggests that fear represents a lack of trust or belief, often leading to anxiety and doubt, whereas faith embodies trust, confidence, and a positive outlook. Essentially, fear can undermine faith by promoting uncertainty, while faith can counteract fear by fostering assurance. So you say, well, Barbara, what does this all mean? The way for you to let go of your fear is to understand that God has a purpose and a plan for you. Read Jeremiah 29:11. You may not see what you want to see. According to what the social media is telling you, that people are not getting married, people are bitter, people are resentful, they're avoiding relationships. If that's the narrative that you want to go by, then it's true for you. But as for me and my house, we will trust the Lord. Or remember that wherever I am in life, there is a reason for that. purpose. I couldn't make these videos like I'm doing now if I had not gone through my single season to realize how good God is. I would be a hypocrite because I'll be talking out of my mouth, out of the side of my neck, whatever that expression is, because I wouldn't have experienced what God has allowed me to experience. So everything that you're experiencing, everything that you're going through, you have to have faith that God is going to use it for your good. You have to have faith that it doesn't matter what other people are dealing with or how they're dealing with, but my God will come through for me. So you have to acknowledge your fear and understand you're not in control. You're not the one who's in charge. You're not going to be able to pull the right man or white woman to you. You just have to trust that God has your best interest at heart. One of the things that I tell myself is I'll either be great by myself or we'll be great together. But the point is greatness. I am on the path of greatness, and I'll do whatever God needs me to do to make it happen. I will love a partner. I would love to be married. I would love to be in a relationship. I desire those things. But if that's not what God had planned for me, which I doubt it's not, but if it's not what God had planned for me, I will continue to be faithful and trust that his plans are better than mine. So if you're suffering from fear, understand you're not in control, and that's okay. You are not God, and you are not meant to be. Thanks for watching.